The dense forests and rolling hills of Indiana have long harbored tales of a mysterious creature that walks the boundary between myth and reality. For decades, residents across the Hoosier State have reported encounters with a large, bipedal, ape-like being known as Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, creating a rich tapestry of folklore that continues to captivate both believers and skeptics alike. While scientific evidence remains elusive, the persistence and consistency of these accounts have established Indiana as a significant location in North American cryptozoology, where the legend of Bigfoot thrives, alongside the state's agricultural landscapes and wooded wilderness areas. Eyewitness accounts from Indiana describe a creature that stands between 7 and 9 feet tall, covered in dark brown or reddish-brown hair that appears coarse and matted. The Indiana Bigfoot is typically reported to have a muscular, humanoid build with disproportionately long arms that hang past its knees, massive shoulders, and a pronounced sagittal crest atop its head. Witnesses often note the creature's piercing eyes, which are described as either yellow or deep brown, and its distinctly human-like face despite its ape-like features. The footprints attributed to this creature measure between 15 and 18 inches in length, showing 5 toes and a heel impression that suggests a bipedal gait distinctly different from known wildlife in the region. The behavioral patterns reported for Indiana's Bigfoot suggest a highly intelligent and elusive creature that actively avoids human contact while displaying curious tendencies toward human activity. Witnesses frequently describe the creature as moving with surprising stealth through dense woodland, despite its massive size, often observed watching humans from a distance before disappearing into the forest canopy. Many accounts detail the creature's apparent fascination with campsites, cabins, and rural properties, where it has been reported to approach structures at night, peer through windows, and occasionally leave behind evidence of its presence in the form of disturbed vegetation or unusual sounds. The creature is also associated with a distinctive, pungent odor that witnesses describe as a combination of wet dog, rotting vegetation, and musk, which often serves as the first indication of its nearby presence. Indiana's Bigfoot folklore intertwines Native American traditions with modern settler accounts, creating a cultural narrative that spans centuries of the state's history. The Miami and Potawatomi tribes that originally inhabited the region spoke of forest spirits and wild men that roamed the woodlands, beings that bore striking similarities to contemporary Bigfoot descriptions. Early European settlers in the 1800s reported encounters with wild men and wood devils in the state's vast forests, tales that were often dismissed as frontier superstition, but now read remarkably similar to modern Bigfoot sightings. Local legends speak of the creature as a guardian of the forest, neither wholly benevolent nor malevolent, but rather a mysterious presence that serves as a reminder of the untamed wilderness that once dominated the Indiana landscape. Several locations throughout Indiana have emerged as particular hotspots for Bigfoot activity, with Brown County leading the state in reported encounters due to its extensive forested terrain and relatively low population density. The Hoosier National Forest, spanning across southern Indiana, provides ideal habitat for such a creature with its dense canopy, abundant water sources, and minimal human intrusion, making it a focal point for researchers and enthusiasts. Monroe Lake and the surrounding wilderness areas have generated numerous reports, particularly from fishermen and campers who describe nighttime encounters along the water's edge. Northern Indiana's Warren Dunes State Park and the forested regions near the Michigan border have also produced consistent sightings, while the bottomlands along the Ouabache River system provide another corridor where encounters are frequently reported. Among the most compelling and well-documented Bigfoot sightings in Indiana is the 1972 Churubusco incident, where multiple witnesses reported seeing a large, hairy creature crossing County Road 33 near the town's outskirts during broad daylight. The creature was described as moving with a distinctive, loping gait and standing nearly 8 feet tall, with several independent witnesses providing remarkably consistent descriptions despite not having communicated with each other beforehand. Another significant encounter occurred in 1987 near Bluffton, where a family camping at Ouabache State Park reported being awakened by powerful footsteps circling their tent, followed by the sighting of a massive, upright figure silhouetted against the moonlight before it disappeared into the dense woods. The 1994 Brookville Lake incident involved a group of fishermen who claimed to observe a large bipedal creature drinking from the lake's edge before it noticed their presence and quickly retreated into the surrounding forest, leaving behind footprints in the muddy shoreline that measured over 16 inches in length. More recent notable sightings include the 2003 Brown County encounter, where a local photographer captured what appeared to be a large, dark figure moving between trees in the background of landscape photographs, though the images remain controversial and inconclusive. In 2008, a deer hunter near Powley reported a close encounter with a creature that he estimated to be over 7 feet tall, covered in dark hair, and exhibiting behavior that suggested it was as surprised by the encounter as he was, with both observer and observed retreating in opposite directions. The 2015 Morgan Monroe forest incident involved a group of hikers who reported hearing distinctive wood-knocking sounds, followed by glimpses of a large, upright figure moving parallel to their trail for several minutes before vanishing completely, an encounter that was notable for its duration and the number of witnesses involved. Several scientific theories have been proposed to explain the persistent Bigfoot sightings throughout Indiana, ranging from misidentification of known wildlife to the possibility of an undiscovered primate species. The misidentification theory suggests that witnesses are encountering black bears standing upright, which can appear remarkably humanoid from a distance, particularly in low-light conditions or dense forest environments where visibility is limited. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that Indiana's black bear population has been steadily recovering in recent decades, expanding into areas where they haven't been seen for generations, potentially leading to surprising encounters with residents unfamiliar with bear behavior. Additionally, the psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the human brain interprets ambiguous visual stimuli as familiar patterns, could explain how shadows, fallen trees, or combinations of vegetation might be perceived as a large, upright creature moving through the forest. The relict hominid theory proposes that Bigfoot represents a surviving population of an ancient primate species, possibly related to Gigantopithecus blacki, a massive ape that lived in Asia until relatively recently in evolutionary terms. Supporters of this theory argue that the consistent physical descriptions across different witnesses and geographical regions suggest a real biological entity, rather than folklore or misidentification, and they point to the vast, largely unexplored wilderness areas that could theoretically support a small population of such creatures. The theory gains some credence from the discovery of new large mammal species in remote areas of the world, demonstrating that significant animals can remain hidden from scientific scrutiny for extended periods. However, critics note the lack of physical evidence such as bones, hair samples with unknown DNA, or clear photographic documentation that would be expected from a breeding population of large primates in North America. Psychological and sociocultural theories examine Bigfoot sightings as manifestations of deeper human needs and cultural narratives rather than encounters with an actual creature. These theories suggest that Bigfoot represents a modern incarnation of the wild man archetype found in cultures worldwide, serving as a symbol of untamed nature and humanity's complex relationship with the wilderness. The social contagion aspect of Bigfoot belief explains how one reported sighting can influence others in the community to interpret ambiguous experiences through the lens of cryptozoology, creating clusters of reports in specific areas and time periods. Some researchers propose that the Indiana Bigfoot phenomenon reflects a collective response to rapid environmental change and urbanization, where the mysterious creature serves as a psychological bridge to a more primitive, natural world that residents feel is disappearing around them. The cultural and economic impact of Bigfoot legends in Indiana extends far beyond simple folklore, influencing tourism, local businesses, and community identity in subtle but measurable ways. Small towns near reported hotspots have embraced their cryptozoological heritage, with local businesses incorporating Bigfoot themes into their marketing and tourism boards, highlighting the mystery as a unique attraction for visitors seeking adventure and the unknown. The phenomenon has sparked the formation of research groups and investigation teams throughout the state, bringing together amateur researchers, wildlife enthusiasts, and curious citizens who contribute to local economies through their expeditions and equipment purchases. Academic institutions have occasionally studied the sociological aspects of Bigfoot belief systems, examining how these legends reflect deeper human relationships with nature and the unknown, while the ongoing reports continue to generate media attention that keeps Indiana in the national conversation about unexplained phenomena. The enduring mystery of Bigfoot in Indiana represents more than mere folklore. It embodies humanity's complex relationship with the natural world and our persistent fascination with the unknown. Whether viewed as a surviving relic of prehistoric times, a misidentified known animal, or purely a product of human imagination and storytelling traditions, the Indiana Bigfoot phenomenon continues to capture imaginations and inspire wonder about what secrets might still lurk in the state's remaining wilderness areas. As Indiana's forests face increasing pressure from development and human encroachment, the legend of Bigfoot serves as a poignant reminder of the mysteries that disappear when wild spaces are lost, ensuring that the creature's legacy will persist in the collective memory of the Hoosier State, regardless of whether definitive proof ever emerges.